Welcome to my Chapter 3 presentation, the control panel and some of its categories. I will be sharing today about the evolution of the control panel, user accounts and family safety, some of the appearance and personalization options, the clock, language, and region options, and ease of access. Making its first appearance in Windows 2.0, the control panel has become a vital part of Microsoft Windows graphical user interface, allowing users to view and manipulate basic system settings and controls. In May 1990, Microsoft Windows introduces Windows 3.0, followed shortly by Windows 3.1 in 1992. These perform significantly better than previous versions, and virtual memory improves the visual graphics with 16 colors, and the small pictogram that was pioneered, an icon, is improved. Windows 95 sold a record-setting 7 million copies in the first 5 weeks of its unveiling. The first appearance of the Start menu, the taskbar, and Minimize, Maximize, and Close buttons on each window came with Windows 95, and then enter the Internet. Personal computers were popping up at homes and offices. Windows 98 was the first version of Windows designed specifically for consumers. I am pretty sure XP was the first to introduce the category view. The classic view is still available by a toggle on the left pane. Subsequent versions Vista and Windows 7 have both the category and classic view options. Windows 7 has both large icons and small icons view. The small icons view is preferred by most network administrators because they can see all of the control panel applets at once and can quickly select the applet they want. By default, Windows 7 presents the category view control panel. For the less experienced, this view helps a user easily find the applet they need to perform a particular task. Some applets appear in multiple categories because they perform functions in multiple categories. I like this control panel because it is clean looking and uncluttered, and I can quickly scan to find what I am looking for. User accounts are required to log on to the computer unless you enable the guest account, which allows someone to get onto the computer without setting up an account or using a password. I would like to demonstrate how to create an account, set parental controls, and demonstrate removing an account. So we are going to escape out of here and open up Windows. And it might take my computer just a moment. Okay, you would begin by hitting the Start orb, the control panel, and choosing User Accounts. And here we're going to add and remove a user. Now we're going to create a new account, and we're going to give this account the name of Cinnamon. We're going to make her a standard user. She does not need to be an administrator, and that's what we do to create an account. We're not going to give her a password because she is young and just needs to get on. But we do want to set up the parental controls. So we go into parental controls here, and we would like to set them up for Cinnamon. This will enable us to set times and controls on the types of games that she can play. So we are going to enforce current settings. We're going to set some time limits on when she can use the computer. Okay. And she goes to bed at 8 o'clock, so she does not need to be using the computer after that time. And she doesn't get up until 7, so we can delete all of that time. And on Monday through Friday, she goes to school until 3. Whoops. You want to color that in. So we're going to switch those over. So those are the times in white that she can do that. But on Friday nights and Saturday nights, she's allowed to stay up a little bit later on the computer. And there you have it. The blue blocks are blocked and the white blocks allow her to get on. We'll hit OK to that. Now in the games control, we are going to allow her to play games, but we're going to set some game ratings. We're going to block games with no rating because we don't know anything about those games. And we're going to choose early childhood and everyone. Those are the only 2 that we're going to choose. Oh, up to everyone. There you go. So those 2 are chosen for us. The rest are not chosen, and she can't get into those games. So we're going to say yes to that. Also, farther down here, you can block these types of contents. Even if a game has an allowed rating, you can block it for the type of content it contains. And you can see there's an awful lot of different things. There's a whole bunch here that you can do. If you don't like certain language, if you don't like a certain type of humor, references to drugs, sex, rock and roll, you can mark any of those. So we'll just say no use of alcohol. So all the games have to have these sort of settings. So if there's even an everyone game and it has something to do with use of tobacco, Cinnamon will not be able to play that game. So we're going to hit OK. And blocker allows specific games you can do when you have certain games set on your computer, but you don't want that user to use them. Like you may have a teenage boy that can play certain games, but you may have a little girl that you don't want to get into those games. So you can do that. All right, so we don't have any games on here, so we can't block specific games. And then, so she's all A-OK. And then I wanted to show you about deleting a user. We're going to remove a user account. We're going to choose Bob. And we're going to delete this account. Now this gives the option to save Bob's files as far as his desktop documents, favorites, music, pictures, videos. It will not save emails, messages, or other types of settings. But the contents of his desktop and files can be held. And what it will do, if you say keep files, it will create this little box over here. So if you decide to put Bob back on the computer, we can put these right back on. But right now we're not worried about Bob because he actually doesn't have any files on here. So we're going to delete files and delete his account. Okay, so that will go through. My computer's just a little bit slow. So, whoops. Well, stink. All right, adding additional parental controls. You can add additional basic controls, but you have to get those from a third party, other service providers. So if you would like to do that, go to the information pages at the Windows website, and they can help you with that. Okay, so my question was, explain the path to setting parental controls for an existing user. And the answer is, the path is Start Orb, Control Panel. Under User Accounts and Family Safety, you want to set up parental controls for any user. Click the selected user, set the controls for time, game ratings, and types of contents, and block or allow specific games. Okay, now to the fun stuff, appearance and personalization. Once you've installed Windows 7 and set up your users, it's fun to make your space yours. Some of these applets are more fun, and some can be used to make it easier to see items on the screen, make information easier and quicker to find, or make maneuvering around simpler. At our computers, we are usually working or creating, so find themes and colors that stimulate you and keep you focused. I think a person needs to consider whether they are personalizing an at-home computer or a business computer, and who might be looking over their shoulder. Having SpongeBob as your wallpaper might not be appropriate for your desktop at work. The desktop background can be personalized by selecting a picture included with Windows 7 or using one of your own. Be very careful if you plan to download any free desktop wallpapers from the internet, as many come with malware and viruses embedded in them. I really don't suggest it. Within the display category, you can change the appearance of your display, calibrate colors, set a custom DPI setting, set up a magnifier tool, and adjust the clear type text, making the text on your screen clearer to read. From here, you can also get to hardware and sound in the control panel to add a device or printer. I'm looking around when I have downloaded applications, so I really like gadget available. I'm going to do a gadget that would be fun. Task used to control and the start menu. For instance, you can move the location of the taskbar on your screen and change it to show small icons. You can customize how